In his book, Heroes of Democracy, author and special advisor on drainage and water resources to the Lagos State Governor, Joe Igbokwe, documented the struggle for the revalidation of the June 12 mandate and the consequences for posterity and generations yet unborn. He's here to tell us more on this. Comrade Joe Igbokwe.
Good morning,
it's good to have you on the
Baptist.
program.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yes, for the benefit of many young Nigerians who may not have been taught history in schools, now that history is an option within the school curriculum in Nigeria, I'd like you to take us back in time to talk about the historical importance of the June 12, 1993 election, the pains that followed, the sacrifices, the losses, and the lessons that should follow.
Thank you, Dr. Bati. And you know, even though I didn't study history, I left history in my class 3 or so because I tilted towards the sciences. But I realized then that history is a very important subject. And I thank God for what we are today, but not without sacrifices. I can't imagine seeing what happened. I don't know whether I will ever see what happened on June 12. Again, where you had a Muslim ticket. Muslim, nobody cared. And we went and took decisions, you know, by 4, 5 we had finished. And then a president emerged through a free and fair process, the type I've never seen since that 1990. It's about 27 years now. You know, so I don't know whether we'll go back. Because I had a conversation with some people yesterday, and that was what was on the table. How come we cannot achieve what we achieved 27, 28 years ago now? You know, and can you talk about a Christian ticket now, Muslim ticket now in Nigeria? Almost practically impossible. And how did we get here? Mistakes, you know. Even though we had that free and fair process in 1993, it was annulled. And thousands died. I documented it so that because I don't want us to miss out anything. I know those who died. Even the winner died. Even the wife died. Sacrifices were made for us to get to where we are today. When I look back, I do have a kind of sense of nostalgia. That even though sacrifices were made, we are still treading the path of, not the path of progress, but part of, the things that tend to draw us back. So for those of us who saw it all, when you look at what is playing out now, you don't feel that, oh, is it in vain? Did Abiola die in vain? Did the wife die in vain? Those thousands of soldiers that died, were in vain? And you look at the actors. We saw the actors, people who benefited from the annulment. Even though it was a Muslim ticket, the vice president left. The vice president left and joined the cabinet. What's he saying now?
Babagana Kingibe
joined the cabinet. The party chairman, Tony Anene, also moved on. Betrayers all over. They couldn't defend the mandate. And we fell short. We were short on it. But we moved on. We struggled and struggled and struggled. At the end of the day, today is democracy day, June 12. Even though we lost so many things, so many human beings, in my book, I documented what Nigeria lost in terms of billions of dollars. Lives. People, committed people and well-educated people, just wasted them, But, if history reminds you of your past, and it leaves you with the option to choose where to go, whether you want to go back where you were before, or you want to, amend your ways and learn from history. That's why history is important. Learn from history, and then avoid the mistakes of the past, and then move on.
Indeed, history is key, no doubt. Now, since Democracy Day was moved from May 29th to June 12th, what has changed beyond mere commemoration of the day?
Well, we still have one united political entity. We still have Nigeria as the biggest economy in Africa. We still have Nigeria as the most educated country, black nation on earth. We still have Nigeria as a destination. We still have Nigeria as the most populated, the biggest market, most educated, So it's still We thank God for it. It's not a basket case. It is not a basket case. But it could have been better. It could have been better if we had structured our systems very well and people do their work, and we didn't have the setback we had, because that annulment took us back. In my book, I said took us back by 50 years. It would have been a landmark, something people will continue to make reference to. Nobody's making reference to that, but the damage was done. The winner was not allowed to rule. He was killed, and the wife was killed.
Well, Joe, one of the highlights of that your book, 1999 book, Heroes of Democracy, 280 pages, is about the heroes and the villains of the June 12 phenomenon. We've been talking all morning about Bashorun MKO Abiola, but there were others who were also heroes of that struggle, as you argue. Now, do you want to use this opportunity to identify some of those heroes and also name some of those villains that you reported in your book?
Okay, I remember Chibolaige. He didn't die in the days of the locust. That's what we called it. That's 1993 to 1990. He didn't die, but he died in democracy. He struggled for. I remember that by the time MK Abiola died, he was in prison. Most of them were in prison. So many of them. There was a time all the Nadeko leaders were picked up and locked up. These are heroes. People like Gani Fahimi, people like Femi Falana. Many of them. That time and space will not permit me to begin to mention here. What was his name? Sabakoba. In Yaba there, he faced Nigerian troops and soldiers. And they beat them up. They beat them up. So people, I can't remember, but so many of them, had issues. They were brutalized. They were humiliated, Some of us, but my own was many.
Journalists also.
Journalists